You're listening to WTF Lex, a production of OGM Podcast Network. Real events, real accountability, and real Lexington. Let's get it. Good evening, Lexington. It's been a few days. The old lady's put me to work remodeling a bathroom, and DoorDash has been kicking ass, so I've been out making the money while I can. But while I was out DoorDashing, I got to thinking, how many cameras you reckon we're on in any given day? In Lexington, I can guarantee you ain't getting about 2 or 3 blocks without being on at least one license plate reader, or commonly known as the flock camera system. Now, the flock system originally was founded in 2017 by Georgia Tech alumni Garrett Langley, Paige Todd, and Matt Fury. The flock system actually started as a dining room project to combat residential crime using the LPR cameras, and it has gone to 42 states by 2024, and now they provide AI-driven cameras, drones, and gunshot detection. And if you've driven anywhere in this town, you have seen one. You may not have recognized it, but I'll guarantee you've seen one. They look inconspicuous. They're black. They have their own little solar panel built in. And a lot of times, apartments will actually have them up and have a flock sign posted, 24/7 surveillance. Now, what does each of the 125 or so in Lexington do every time you drive past it? Well, first off, it photographs every single plate that drives by it. Even if a car doesn't have a plate, it recognizes roof racks, bumper stickers. It literally makes a profile of your vehicle, of every vehicle that passes. It can be Joe Schmo down the street slinging dope, or it can be Granny taking kids to the doctor. It's going to capture your plate number, your vehicle type, the color, the time and date, the direction of travel. And AI is automatically going to see if that plate is stolen, if you're wanted, see if you have warrants, see if you're on a missing persons alert, just automatically. Now, what it doesn't do is speeding tickets, moving violations, anything like that. The state of Kentucky does not allow you to be mailed a ticket, basically. Even with the new construction stuff, the cameras in construction zones, there has to be an officer there to literally pull you over from being alerted from that camera to give you the ticket. Otherwise, it's not legal in the state of Kentucky. With that being said, though, it's literally advertised as a way to generate investigative leads. But apparently the north side of Lexington needs investigative leads far greater than the south side. I'll let you infer what you want to infer from that, but District 1 has 21 cameras. District 11 has 19 cameras. District 6 has 16 cameras, and District 8 has 13 cameras. The top 3, north side. Now, I'm not going to bullshit and lie. Most of this is from older information because God forbid Lexington, Kentucky be open about any fucking thing. Transparency, my ass. I'm pretty sure the last updated map officially was 2023, so 3 years later, God knows where they can put them now. But as of that map, there's giant sections, like you're talking about out in Newtown, all that new building out there, all the Amazon, everything out there, you don't have any new ones. I find that hard to believe. From Harrodsburg Road all the way around to Tate's Creek, you don't have license plate readers. I find that one hard to believe. So, like I said, all these numbers are based on what they've said, and they've been quote unquote transparent about. If I'm sure that they need to be updated. I'm behind just like anybody else in public is behind. Now, they say it has helped charge 686 people in Lexington alone since 2022 when they initially installed all the flock cameras. It says 1,594 total criminal charges out of 686 people. There's been 427 warrants served and 29 missing persons located. 133 firearms seized, 337 stolen vehicles recovered, and nearly $5 million in recovered property. They say that before the flock cameras, the average stolen car recovery time was 10 days or so. and after it has dropped to about 5.5 days. Now, I personally can attest that they got my car back in 15 fucking minutes. I was back in it. The juveniles who basically, I was on a DoorDash and left my car running like a complete and total fucking idiot. Dude running up, grabbing a gun in his waistband. So, yeah, you take that, Camry. It's not worth my life. I actually started recording, got a picture of him and everything. But they literally found my car a mile and a half away. 15 minutes later, they had ransacked it, going through crap. But they weren't looking to steal it. They were looking, hopefully I had something in it, maybe a gun, maybe something like that, and see what they got and dump the car. But between the Flock and the RTIC, the Real-Time Intelligence Center, apparently they got a pretty good grip on stolen vehicles around here, even though it happens every fucking day. But they do say it helps with stolen vehicles, assaults, domestic violence, drug trafficking, and probation violations. So basically they got AI doing half their work. And I'm not sure if you used AI any recently. I have. Not gonna lie, I use it a lot. I do the deep research option and all this to research a lot of this stuff and get my fact. But let me tell you, I double check my shit. Because I know, just like everybody should know, AI is not perfect. AI makes mistakes. And back in 2021, AI made a mistake. The Flock camera misread a handwritten H as M, causing officers to stop driver Jason Berklio at gunpoint. He was forced to lie on the ground in handcuffs. Berklio sued and settled for $45,000. Police admitted that the plate was obscured by dirt. Oh, Lord. Dirt or an acorn, and you are fucked in this country. In Espanola, New Mexico, a license plate reader misread a 2 as a 7, flagging a woman's car as stolen. Officers drew weapons and handcuffed her and her 12-year-old sister. The family later sued and settled in 2025. Morristown, Tennessee. That's pretty close to home. I like Morristown. Miss laid out at the park. An elderly couple was pulled over at gunpoint and terrified when the Flock wrongly flagged their SUV's personalized plate Lovey, spelled with an O, as a stolen plate Lovey, spelled with a 0. The officers later acknowledged the computer had mishit. And in Toledo, Ohio, in April of 2024, Brandon Upchurch was traveling home when a Flock camera misread his plate and alerted stolen vehicle. Police drew guns, beat him with a K9, and jailed him. Upchurch's charges were later dropped when body cam footage showed his plate was not stolen. It says Business Insider identified this in dozens of similar cases across the country, where Flock errors led to wrongful stops and or arrests. Can you imagine being a law-abiding citizen, minding your own business, not breaking any laws, hell, driving down the street, going to or from work, to or from church, to or from wherever, and all of a sudden here comes like a felony stop on you, guns drawn, you in handcuffs, you thrown on the ground over a Flock camera AI system. Oops, sorry, we got it wrong. And I'll guarantee you, not a single one of those cops were like, no, we're our bad. We just, no, hell no. They threw them in cuffs. They drew guns on them. They knew that they were in the right. There was no doubt about it in that cop's mind. But I bet it hurt having to go back and say, damn, we were wrong. That's when we get into the good old civil rights lawsuits all across America. The surveillance of protected activities, the privacy abuses, like, this shit's legit. You give somebody a little bit of power, and let me tell you, you know how that goes. For example, a civil rights group sued over secret camera locations and public records access in Oregon. There's a class action lawsuit claims Flock improperly shared license plate data with outside agencies out of California. Virginia has a lawsuit challenged the system under the Fourth Amendment. The federal judge ruled the cameras do not currently violate privacy rights, but warned the issue could change as technology expands. With that being said, now, if you're planning on going into political protests, maybe you're planning on going to get an abortion, possibly if you're not from this country legally, or maybe you're not a white, middle-aged fucking man, you might want to worry. Because in 2024 and 2025, EFF investigations found law enforcement used flock data to track demonstrators at protests. Hundreds of searches explicitly tagged protest activity, suggesting mass surveillance of constitutionally protected free speech. Racial profiling in 2025 analysis revealed police performed hundreds of ALPR searches using ethnic slurs to target Romani and traveling communities. Even when no crime was cited, EFF termed these patterns deeply troubling, noting how Flock's convoy feature easily scanned entire minority convoys. Then there's the 2023 abortion surveillance. Media reports uncovered that Texas deputies ran a nationwide flock search with notes, "Had abortion, search for female." In reality, police labeled a woman's self-managed abortion as a death investigation and pressed prosecutors. This case showed how one flock query can sweep 83,000 plus cameras across the country, raising fears of reproductive privacy violations. In immigration enforcement, privacy advocates warn flock data can feed ICE. In Los Angeles, organizers noted that license plate networks provided ICE with a roadmap to locate people. And LA Times expose reported many cities canceled flock over fears that data was aiding federal deportation efforts. ACLU researchers found thousands of out-of-state and federal searches of license plate data. There were 7 million searches in Virginia in 1 year, including over 3,000 for immigration. In Texas and Virginia, news outlets documented police departments giving ICE direct access to flock database before assurances to the contrary. And now there are dozens of communities nationwide, Santa Cruz, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Coralville, Iowa. They've all voluntarily paused or ended flock contracts due to the privacy concerns. In November of 2025, there was 2 senators that actually urged the FTC to investigate the flock's poor cybersecurity after reports of 35 hacked flock accounts. Who is hacking accounts and what the fuck are they getting? And that also makes you wonder who really has access to these cameras. Because there are police cameras. We also have privately owned cameras. If you're an HOA, there's apartment complexes around town. I actually did a video one on Facebook, and the apartment complex itself tried to reach out to me to get me to remove the video because our apartments are safe places. Even though you have flock cameras up recording every single person coming in and out of your, that screams safe to me. So let's say property management go out and they pay $3,000 as a camera for one of these flock cameras. They put one on each entrance. Let's say they got 2 entrances. That's $6,000. Okay, does the property manager itself, does maintenance, who all has access to this camera system? Who all has access to every single person's private information that enters that property? You're going to legitimately sit here and tell me that people aren't going to take advantage of the system? Cops take advantage of the system, but everyday people aren't going to be? Like, you have that much faith in humanity? Let's be legitimate here. I mean, a simple, quick Google search shows you a Milwaukee cop searched his significant other and her ex's license plate 179 times. Yeah, he wasn't thinking they was meeting up, was he? So you gonna tell me property manager over here who's got girlfriend living in apartment 217 or whatever ain't gonna be over there checking on who's been rolling up in my old lady's apartment? Come on now. Humans are humans, and they will take advantage of any fucking thing. And thankfully, in 2026, here in Kentucky, there has been a bill introduced that would ban the use of license plate readers statewide. They need to vote on that son of a bitch. Because so far, my personal experience with them has not been good. It actually was one of the key things that got me into doing this is I was actually following the church shooting. I was out door dashing one day and cop after cop after cop after the EMS after firefighter, everybody going out to Old Richmond Road. So I hauled ass out there and I actually got video of that and everything. But that all started from a flock camera reading out on Versailles Road. The KSP pulled over The guy, it actually wasn't the guy that shot. The guy, I'm not exactly sure how it worked out. If the guy, the owner of the truck, had a warrant or was wanted, what happened there? But the guy he was giving a ride actually shot the ASP officer and then drove up to a retirement home, stole another vehicle, made it out to the church on Old Richmond Road where I reckon he was trying to take out his baby mama and she wasn't there, so he took out her family. And yeah, so that was my first introduction to the flock camera. And the second one was here pretty recently. Apparently, dude got a hit on a flock camera he was out of North Carolina, had warrants. And it was right up the street from my house here at Yellowstone and Alumni. And apparently he was armed. But they still haven't said that he opened fire on them, but they shot that man and killed him right there. And from the video I was sent, I did not see that man shoot. I seen basically a guy get killed over having warrants. So, track record for Flock on all that is a lot of death at this point. I'm really tempted, though, to put in like an open records request to see how many times they've ran my plate. I'd probably hate to know, to be honest. But what does everybody think? Is this a smart crime-fighting tool, or is this spying on everybody in the friggin' city? Because my question is, if you're not suspected of any crime, you're out here minding your own business, why the fuck is the government tracking your car? Why are they telling you what time of day, what position, what direction you're going? Who the fuck needs to know that? They already got the cell phones in our pockets. I mean, come on. I would have to be a pretty naive person to think the government can't see where I am at any given point, at any given time. This is just another layer of their surveillance. So in my infinite wisdom, I always flip off the fucking flock cameras. Fuck you, flock. Y'all stay safe, don't catch no charges, and yeah, watch out for the surveillance state. This podcast is a proud member of the OGM Podcast Network. Check out Buried in the Bluegrass, Life of the Bipolar Brain, and of course, What the Fuck, Lex, which can all be found on all your favorite podcast directories, I suppose. Good night, Lex.